Today we're going to cover the 5 worst kitchen lighting mistakes that people often make, including me. And these are things that can make your home just look very cheap, or they can also make it very hard to do simple tasks like chopping vegetables. We're gonna get right into it today by covering one of the most controversial lighting mistakes, and I'm actually afraid to talk about it here on my channel because I'm afraid of all the comments. And that's gonna be around something that could be the death of the kitchen pendant light. But make sure you stick around to the end of the video because at the end, I'm gonna give you my 4 top lighting ideas that you definitely don't wanna miss for updating your kitchen. First, we're gonna talk about something that is genuinely dividing the entire design world right now. And that is because some designers are basically saying that pendant lights over your kitchen island or your kitchen peninsula are going to be a thing of the past very quickly. Oh, and if you're new around here, my name's Carrie. I'm a self-taught designer as well as founder of the blog Penny Modern, and I have been remodeling kitchens and bathrooms for over a decade. Here is why some designers are not doing the kitchen pendant lights anymore. And that is because if you think about it, a lot of people, they want to have their focal point in the kitchen be their stove. And a lot of people are getting gorgeous custom range hoods. Think about it. If you spend a lot of money redoing your kitchen and then you get a beautiful high-end stove, you get a beautiful custom range hood, and you get all this beautiful cabinetry, do you really want to have these huge pendant lights blocking the view of all this beautiful stuff you just bought? And also everybody has these open concept homes, so you can see the whole kitchen from everywhere else in your great room. And that is one of the big arguments against getting some of these pendant lights anymore. One commenter on House put it perfectly as well. If you want the hood to be the focal point of the room, then skip doing the pendants over the island. They compete for attention. Celebrity designer Lauren Kreis, who designs rooms and homes for some of the biggest celebrities today, went as far as saying over on his Instagram that dome pendant lights like these are toast. And he says they make your kitchen look like a warming station in a restaurant. His recommendation is something that I may get in here when we update our kitchen, our monopoint lights, but more on that at the end, so make sure you stick around for that. My personal take is it's not necessarily that all pendant lights are going to be dead. It's really which pendants you decide to pick. If you're thinking about getting one of those extra large dome pendants like from IKEA and hanging a bunch of those in your kitchen, it's going to block the sight of more of the expensive items in your kitchen, like your range or your hood or all that cabinetry that you pay for. So I would definitely recommend either, if you do want your range hood to be a focal point, to do something that's more of a flush mount light or those monopoint lights, or you could try a pendant that's smaller in size or it has more of a sculpture quality to them. There are a lot of pendants right now that have a glass shade and they're definitely easier to see around and behind. And that way you're not just having this huge monstrosities that are really just taking over the emphasis in your kitchen. But I'd love to know what you think. Are you team pendant? Are you team no pendant? How do you view this controversial design debate? Let us know down in the comments below. Now we are on to lighting mistake number 2 for kitchens. And this is something that's also going to be controversial. And I might get a lot of comments about this. And this is something that I call the airport runway effect. When people go to remodel their kitchen, the default is honestly to do a lot of recessed lights, just like I have here in my kitchen, which all of this really came with the house. I have not done any renovation on the lighting yet, but we have a ton of recessed lights in here. But lighting consultant Stacy Ruiz said it best. Have you ever seen a brand new fabulous kitchen, but something just fell off? Then you look up and just see grids of recessed downlights. Talk about lowering the level of sophistication after spending a small fortune on remodeling a kitchen. When all of your lights just shine straight down, it can really make your kitchen feel very one-dimensional and things can be flat. So instead of relying only on recessed lighting, you definitely need to do what's called layered lighting in your kitchen. You definitely want to switch out at least some of those recessed lights for a flush mount light that has a beautiful shade, or even a chandelier that's gonna cast some light back up on the ceiling, and that's gonna give a lot more dimension to your space. And if you already have a ton of recessed lights, one of the ideas you can do is add some different touch lights or small lamps to your space that's gonna add some different elements of light. You also can get under cabinet light or under the toe kick lighting as well. And I do have one other trick at the end, so make sure you stick around for some of my top kitchen lighting picks at the end. Oh, and if you want even more secret sources and vendors that designers always use when doing kitchen remodels for their clients, then you've got to check out my latest ebook, which is The Kitchen Designer's Secret Sources, which are the kitchen vendors and sources that designers don't want you to know about. So you can get that in my Penny Modern shop. There's gonna be a QR code right here that you can scan with your phone if you're watching on TV, or I'm gonna link to that down below and you can check that out today. And it has tons of different sources for everything from appliances to lighting to fixtures to cabinetry, and it's also at different price points as well. So check that out today in the Penny Modern shop. Okay, now that you know what to do with your can lights or recessed lights, what if the light actually coming out of your fixtures is making it look like you are living in a hospital? Mistake number 3 is choosing the wrong color temperature light bulbs or light settings if you have an adjustable setting on your fixture. Specifically, I'm talking about using a cool white light in your kitchen. There is nothing more jarring or almost sickening when you walk into a beautifully remodeled kitchen and then it feels like you're in an operating room or the light is just plain unflattering. And that is when people use something that is a 4,000 degree Kelvin or that cooler light. And it really has this bluish light that is emitted out of the bulb. And what's even worse than that? Worse is actually mixing the colors in your kitchen of the different light bulbs. And this actually happened to me when I remodeled our kitchen at our old condo. We installed recessed lighting and we also had very small pendant lights over the island. And we also had a beautiful dining room chandelier. The dining room chandelier was a very warm light. And then the islands were a warmish light, but then the recessed lights were very cool. And I actually made my husband take out the recessed lights and then I had him buy different ones, didn't like those, took those back, and then we finally settled on the perfect recessed lights that matched the other lights in the kitchen because I did not want to have mixed light colors because that just looks cheap. It looks like you didn't put any thought on it and it was an accident. When all your light colors match, that's gonna look designer and intentional and well thought out. So you definitely want to use a little bit warmer. And now I know it can be difficult because a lot of the warm lights, they're not as bright. So you definitely want to get those dimmer switches, and you can choose a daylight color, and that way it's a blend between cool and warm, which I think is a really great choice for a kitchen because you do need to do a lot of tasks, and I would definitely stay within that 2700 to 3000 Kelvin range and make sure all your bulbs are in that same color range. And speaking of jarring mistakes, this next one is not just a lighting mistake, it also can be a physical hazard. Now, mistake number 4 is all about hanging your pendant lights at the wrong height over your island or your peninsula. Interior designer Katie Houston actually related that one of her recent projects, they had to rehang all the pendant lights in her project because the previous owner had hung them all way too low and people were hitting their head because the new owners on the house were very much way taller than the prior people that lived there. So if you hang your pendants way too low, it's going to create some visual clutter, especially if they're on the larger side, and they're gonna get in the way of your line of sight. And if you hang them too high though, what can happen is if you have them too high, then they're gonna look like an afterthought, they're gonna look like a mistake, and they're gonna look not intentional, which we know just doesn't look good. It can make it look cheap. The golden rule for hanging pendant lights is actually to make sure that the bottom of the pendant light is hanging around 30 to 36 inches above the surface of whatever it's hanging over. So just keep that in mind when you're planning your project. But even if you hang your pendants absolutely perfectly, you could be cooking in the dark if you make this next mistake. Mistake number 5 is all about ignoring the countertop shadow effect. And this is often if you only have one overhead light in your kitchen, or maybe you only have maybe a couple of recessed lights that are trying to illuminate your entire kitchen. What happens when you have inadequate light in your kitchen, when you have it maybe one in the middle or only a couple of recessed lights, when you're on the perimeter of your kitchen chopping things like your apples or your vegetables, what happens is the light is coming down and it's hitting your body and you're chopping in shadows, and that can make it really hard to do work in your kitchen. It also can actually make your backsplash look darker and kind of dingy. And I know I have a friend who wants to remodel her kitchen. She said one of her biggest complaints is actually the lighting. She only has 2 recessed can lights and she has very tall ceilings, cathedral ceilings, and she's like, I barely can see in my kitchen because I have 2 can lights for the whole thing. So you're definitely going to want to make sure you have task lighting. So that might be you have your recessed lights along the perimeter over your countertops. The other thing that you can do is get that under cabinet lighting. There's a lot of aftermarket stuff that you can buy that just sticks up there and it's motion activated, or it has a little remote so you don't have to rewire anything. Now we're going to get into those 4 different kitchen lighting ideas that I definitely recommend. But first, can you check to make sure that you're subscribed? Because if you're not, you definitely should be, because it really tells YouTube that you like videos like this, and YouTube will serve up more videos just like this. And it helps me on my journey to 100K subscribers. It's a win-win. So this first lighting trend that I definitely recommend, I got this idea from Lauren Kreis, and he is a celebrity designer, and he recommends monopoint or mud in can lights instead of using a traditional pendant light over your island or your peninsula. And I'm definitely looking to embrace this. I love monopoint lights because they're basically small little, almost a track light that you can actually position and point them to different areas, so that they would be great for adding that task lighting. But they're also great if you want to have a smaller light that's not going to take up all this visual space, and that way you can show off the rest of your kitchen. And the other thing I love about monopoint lights is they come in a lot of different finishes. You can get in white, black, you can get into different colors of brass and chrome. So they'll pretty much go with any kitchen design. And mud in cans are really just like a can light, but you basically, all that you see is a little hole where the light is. They don't have that rim around the outside like a traditional recessed light. So it makes them very unobtrusive. If you want that very sleek, minimalist look, that's a good option. The next one is around pendant lights. So I told you guys that pendant lights are on the way out, and especially these larger dome pendants, those are definitely something that people are moving away from. Also the black, that matte black finish is something that's trending on the way out. The other thing that's basically definitely out is these wire lamp shades. That's more of an industrial or a farmhouse look. That is definitely on the way out. So what should you do instead? We are seeing a huge trend, a mega trend called biophilia, which is basically how we're embracing all these natural materials. So that includes in your lamp shades or your pendant shades. What we're seeing common style to embrace these natural materials is an alabaster stone or a hand finished plaster. We're also seeing things like an onyx, which is very beautiful when it's lit up. And there's also a lot of textured ceramic lampshades that I think are also very beautiful for a pendant. Alabaster itself is actually quite stunning because it helps diffuse the light and it gives this beautiful glow to the room that just makes everything and everybody in it look amazing. My next designer pick, which is going to be perfect if you want to get rid of recessed can lights entirely, this is going to be a great option for you. And that's going to be around getting a beautiful flush mount light. And this would be taking a page out of Jonathan Scott and Zoe Deschanel's beautiful New York City apartment, where they bragged about not having any recessed lights at all in their entire apartment. And they said recessed light is a dirty word at their house. So what did they use instead? Of course, they had overhead lights. They did have some beautiful pendants. They had gorgeous chandeliers, but they also had some beautiful flush mount lights. And they used those instead of recessed can lights. And we are not talking about just standard flush mount lights that are purely utilitarian. There are some great options. I even found one here from Home Depot, from Home Decorators Collection. I thought this was a really beautiful light because it doesn't hang down that low. It has a beautiful brass finish and it has that beautiful shade that's going to really help diffuse light around your kitchen. Maybe it's better for a dining room. It'd also be great for a living room too. There's also beautiful flush mount lights that are in things like that alabaster finish. They're also going to come in a lot of different finishes like the aged brass. And there's even some that are a hand-blown glass or a handmade looking glass that are gonna be a fabulous addition, and it's gonna add a ton of style and personality to your kitchen. This next one is a bonus that a lot of people absolutely forget about when they're designing their kitchen, and that is around a sconce. But designers are increasingly using sconces in kitchen applications. And you might be thinking, don't you just use a wall sconce over a picture or maybe in a bedroom or maybe in a library? No, you can definitely use them in your kitchen all over the place. And adding wall sconces in your kitchen is a great way to do a number of things to get that designer look. It's also going to give you a more layered look to your lighting because remember, we don't want to have just overhead lights. But sconces are really easy to add. For example, these I got from Amazon and they don't have any wiring and you can just turn them on with a remote control. I'll make sure I link to them down below. But they add a ton of personality and you can get them in so many different finishes. They'll go with whatever else you have in your kitchen. And there are so many different ways that you can put a sconce in. So you can put them here like I have in my coffee bar. You also can use them like a picture light over some artwork and that will add a ton of personality to your kitchen. And then a lot of people will use them over by the kitchen sink and they'll put them above the kitchen sink or on either side of the windows that are above the kitchen sink. And certainly if you have open shelving on either side of your range hood, that's a great place to add your sconce. And sconces don't necessarily have to match all the other metals in your kitchen. You can have them as an accent, but just remember if you do decide to make them an accent, you need to repeat that finish at least 3 times in the general area that those sconces are in. Now, I think we both can agree that kitchen lighting is everything. But if you want your kitchen to be absolutely flawless, then you're going to need to know a little bit more. What about the cabinets? What about the countertops? What about the flooring? Then you've got to watch my playlist that I put together that's a curated list of all the best videos that I've got that's going to help you get your dream kitchen. It's called the Dream Kitchen Playbook. So you can click on that right here and I'll see you in the next video.